Cool. So this game you have a Raptor start, and we're focusing on decision making. How to take objectives, how to set up objectives, and emphasizing here that you had 3 losing lanes. So pretty much we're going to look on these things and waste the time included, and decide what you could have done better in this game. So 2 points Q. This is all pretty good, all pretty standard stuff so far. So bot looks like he has prio, mid has no prio, top has no prio. Um, it's a nice little full clear with a Raptor start. Cool. Everything looks beautiful. Your mid wave is shoving in, right? You can instantly identify that, and your bot wave is also being like shoved in eventually. So keeping in mind, both of these waves are your first priority, and then the crab, right? So if something urgent happens mid or bot, you want to be there. You get a crab, nice. You walk back to your top side. This is good. This ends up being not great. So your positioning here is off a little bit. This is a lot of wasted time too. So in my head, I'm not winning this fight against these two, and my guy's mana is really low. So wasted time here would be this fight is never going to be winning. So look at the position you put yourself in. You're never going to win this fight. You might have to blow ghost here or a lot of your HP. You don't have to ghost, but you just lose a lot of your HP. Not the end of the world. You also buy potion when you shouldn't buy potion, and here you're just kind of doing nothing. I would say this situation, right? This guy's just gonna leave. Now you left. Now you've lost like about 10 seconds because you could have left right here at 4 minutes. You could have left. You left at around 4 or 5. Not 10 seconds, 5 seconds. It's wasted time though. Also, you wouldn't. What did you E here? Oh, you waste your E here as well. This E is really bad here, right? Because there's a wave and there's a next wave coming up here. I don't know why you E like this. This is a really common theme on Hack Room, but this cooldown is not something. It's as if you're playing Viego and you just E this wall for fun. It's as if you're
Yeah.
playing Diana and you like use your E on the crab, and it's just really bad. Okay, so we clear our camps, we look for a recall. This is all good. We are pretty strong in the game right now. So our laners are coming off map. We are dropping a ward to see if the Sejuani wants to pull this. I don't mind this at all. Just it's solo queue. This is nice. Okay, so one thing you could adapt here is because your camp sequence is Raptors and then Krugs, is do your Grump first and then go Wolves. Right, and that way you can like full cycle into topside over and over again. Um, but the Grump actually is not spawning in time. Like barely, let's see. Yeah, you'd have to wait a few seconds. Honestly, it's probably better to fix your cycle, but it's not the end of the world. This point here, clearing some wards, going for the crab. This is good. You hit level 6. Oh, you didn't get it. Oh, you did get it. Oh, okay. Never mind. It was just not level 6. Good. We just recall. We have gold. There's a wave pushing in. So this is a myth here, right? Because your bot's obviously winning. Um, but like right now, everyone is doing all right. The entire game state is fine, right? So it's just about you trying to figure out how to carry in this position. Okay, so you decide to fix your sequence this way. This is fine. Okay, let me look back here again. Let's see. So so you're pathing here, and then you decide to you should instantly know there's not going to be a fight here, right? And then if there is going to be a fight here, that's when I would path like this and then like this, right? So if you want to talk about wasted time, like in my head, nothing's gonna happen here. The Sejuani is gonna Q, it's gonna miss. My assassin is gonna E away. Okay, so it's slightly wasted time. You have to path all the way through here. That's why I'm like, what's going on? Okay, this point, so we're getting vision on this Herald, but because this Gangplank has no conditions, because size has no conditions, you're never getting this Herald anyway. This ward does nothing for you. What you want is you want to have a ward here or here. So when you prioritize this dragging that you're going to be doing, that's when you have your ward. If this Herald gets if you spot Sejuani on this Herald, it's gone anyway, right? The reason why I would want a ward here if I'm interested in fighting this Herald, but in my head I'm never interested in fighting this because my top and mid can't.
I was thinking wording it so that if I see her on, I can just immediately go to Drake without fearing anything.
Right, but like the reason why you would want to path towards bot, right? And it's because your camps are here, right? And your bot has prio, right? So if they're gonna fight you and you have wards, and they're walking in at this point of the game where you have ultimates, if they're walking in like that, they're not doing Rift Herald, and they're fighting you on this dragon. So if you think neither objective is fightable, like it doesn't matter if you have this ward or not because that means you can't pull either objective. I would want the best conditions I can for the objective. Let's say Sejuani also had a ward on both Herald and Herald and Dragon. That means you can't pull it anyway, right? So the idea that I'm trying to get at is it's better to save these conditions, maybe have Gangplank warded or Silas warded, and you to save your ward in the bot side, because that's what you're pathing to. That's what you're kind of playing to.
I was thinking if I don't ward this and then let's say Sejuani starts Herald on spawn and then I clear my camps and then I right as Sejuani I get the notification that Sejuani killed the Herald and I try to start the dragon, then I might be too late because they could just rotate over if they have mid prio.
So
Because
they had
I the only
they had Garen mid, right? They have Garen Sejuani mid. They have what's their bot lane? It was like Milio and
cog
um,
Cogmillion.
Kog'Maw, right? So I in my head I'm still fighting this dragon. This dragon is my dragon to take. It's my fight to take.
That's true, but if I didn't have mid prio, for example, then I would have to give it either way. I think
If you're
because my
mid,
Silas just seemed to be like Silas seems to like he has no flash and he's like seems to be losing early because he is Silas versus Garen. He can't do much.
right? But in the actual fight itself, as long as this guy's not like 0 HP, 0 mana, he will be impactful.
Yeah, but that's true. But if he is a bit low HP or if he's chunked out, I feel like the if just as
Right.
you argue, I could make my top or mid ward this. Couldn't I also make my bot or mid ward the bot river?
So they're not doing the dragon, or like, oh, so sorry.
No,
So
no,
so the fight is better. Well,
yeah,
the point of this ward is to see if Sejuani is pulling it, right?
yes,
That's why
yeah,
this word is here, right? In
yep.
my head, if I'm going to my bot side no matter what here, I'm going to clear the bot side and then decide what objective to do afterwards. If Sejuani does take the Rift Herald, that means that her entire bot side is up. Either this is up, something is up, right? Because she skipped a bunch of camps to do this, right? So that means if she's coming from Herald all the way to Dragon and she's fighting me, like the tempo, her tempo will be bad. It'll be obvious where she's coming from, and the position of your fight will be better because you clear so fast as well with these items right now. You're going to like clear your entire bot side and still have time to do the Dragon, right? If you have like, if you think you can't do either Herald or Dragon, then neither of these wards matter anyway, right? You're not going to get either objectives anyway. I would just be faster on my camps. Pretty much, if you Dragon is a fight that you want to take, then you're going to fight Dragon. If I'm Sejuani in this game, I'm never pulling Herald at 8 minutes here. I'm taking all my camps. I'm doing the objective first that is like harder to contest. So Dragon, because personally I could also fight this Dragon as Sejuani with mid prio. So I'm taking the objective first. That's like that you're probably on. Then I'm going to Herald because Herald's easier to take because Gangplank and Silas are losing so hard. So as Sejuani here, I'm not instantly pulling either objective, meaning like it wouldn't matter which side you're warding anyway, because if you're losing everywhere, you're not going to get any objective anyway.
But at least if I let's say if I'm losing everyone, I can't contest either objective. If I see her pulling Herald, I can just instantly run to her bot camps for free without being scared of her collapsing on me there. If I didn't, because if I didn't ward that, I wouldn't know where she is, and she could have been in her bot jungle, and then I'd just be face checking her, and maybe I could die because they collapse on me. But at least this way, it's like I can make one guaranteed play because I would have vision on her.
Yeah, it's just really awkward for Sejuani to like start Rift here, which is why I feel like this ward is just not valuable because in my eyes, Sejuani should never pull Rift here. But I guess it is solo queue, and I guess people like have a tendency of just pulling objective anyway. Um, I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing to do. Um,
Well, if we were to say, let's say this was like Graves or something, or like stronger early game jungle. Like then maybe they would like to they have the top prior, they have winning top, they have a Kennen who's super strong with R. In that case would this ward be good then? If it was like a Graves enemy jungle, for example.
I think still no. I think like most junglers, like the only time like Sejuani is one of the junglers that wants to pull the objective right away. But if I'm fighting an objective, I want to fight the dragon. If I'm playing Sejuani, if I'm playing Poppy, I'm playing Nunu. That's the objective that I want to grab. If I'm playing Graves, I'm playing like something that does want to snowball early. I still want to do my camps first and then fight the objective. That's like the order of operations that I want as a jungler. I
Right, right.
think this word itself is not the end of the world. It's just I personally want this word on like the side of dragon to know like that I can fight this dragon like with more information. That's all. Okay, so we're fighting a 2v2 here. Sauce is in position, and we get the damage off on everyone. Okay, this is good. This is good to go to dragon. Nice. Okay. So this ult's really good because if you identify that hey this is gonna be a good fight for you and you know, then go for it. Use your ult like this, and afterwards you focus the objective. So even the moment this happens right here, you chunk this guy, he flashes away. Your ghost is going soon, but the moment he Qs, yeah, you walk right back. This is perfect. You do the dragon. What I would do is always pull this objective out. Sejuani could blast Phantom Smite and then run away, right? Especially since you have no Smite. I'm super concerned of this getting stolen. At the very least, if she has to walk all the way up here, it just gives more room for like something better to happen potentially. It's 2 seconds of difference, especially when I have
True.
no Smite. That's what I think about. Okay, you've accomplished getting a dragon, which is really good. No one is doing too great on your team. You see the Sejuani not doing, or is she doing the rift? No, she wasn't doing the rift. And we look for a bot play through the lane. Cool. So I don't necessarily mind this. It's just when you E like this, he flashes away. Okay. Okay, so you saw a really nice angle here. Um, I don't mind this. This is really good. Okay. You clear his whole bot side because Sejuani was in the top side. This is good. This is really good. Okay, and this is the recall. This is all really good. All really fluid things. Not much wasted time either. Everything looks really
Could you go back a
calculated.
minute right before I killed the right after I ulted on Kog'Maw?
Yeah.
So here, since I have vision on the Herald, I was able to freely invade Sejuani's bot side here. I think because imagine if I didn't have vision
Oh,
and maybe she could
yes.
have been. Say
So
that again.
the moment you see this, sorry, you should go to his camps first. Camp
Yeah.
Krugs, Raptors first, then Crab, then Recall.
Oh, good point. Good point. Yeah.
Although your position would have been different because, well, I don't know how Kog'Maw even got there in the first place. No,
I think he was checking, like checking if I was on it.
you would have had a ward on it anyway, right? If you did Krugs and then Raptors first. Um, but realistically, like this kill is never real anyway, right? Like this kill is just Kog'Maw inting pretty much. But
Oh no no, I meant the I meant it, after I ulted on Kog'Maw bot lane. Since I saw Sejuani on my Herald ward that I placed, I knew I could safely invade her bot side because I
yeah,
know she's not there.
yeah.
That's what I meant. Like since I warded that Herald earlier, I get this opportunity to take her Raptors Krugs. But if I didn't have that ward, I would think, oh,
No,
maybe
no,
Sejuani's
the,
there,
the,
and then I
the,
would just waste my time.
the ward you placed was at 8 minutes. The one we were discussing was at 8 minutes.
Yeah.
The play we're talking about is at 11 minutes. So the ward would have expired.
Oh, true, true.
So the ward
Oh
the
yeah, it
ward you
did expire.
placed was not yours. It was Silas's.
Okay, well, that's we can't. Well, if my play showed up like a minute early, it would be useful in that case. But it didn't. But we can't like assume that, right? We can't assume that this the vision won't last long enough for it to be useful because there definitely could have been a counter jungle play while the word was still up.
So let me ask you, if you made this bot play, let's say you were bought 3 seconds earlier, 4 seconds earlier, because basically you didn't lose too much time. It's like about like 5 seconds, I would say. But if you use this time, or you walked, and then you also waited 10 seconds, and then you also walked back. So if you use this time to clear your bot side, and you made this bot play even faster, how does Sejuani contest your dragon if you kill their bot lane?
Ooh.
Right?
Well,
Because she's dead anyway. So you're going to get this dragon no matter what, pretty much. Like, regardless of the sword. These 10 seconds are very valuable to me because of these camp respawns here, and because I know I'm not fighting Herald anyway. Right?
right.
So that's why I would want, like, I'm valuing time here over this ward because we're not fighting top. If we are ever able to contest it, like we are in this later position, this ward that Silas places is like that much better because like even you, after you make this spot play, if you want to like fuck around a little bit, you have phase rush and you might have water walking too. You can like fuck around and literally like run to here and like make it to the fight at the end. Like and now your mid and your top are able to fight it. That's make this ward even better.
But could this same play could have happened like a minute earlier, right?
Yeah, so if that same play happened a million earlier, like your conditions on your top and mid were non-existent. They were getting shoved in perma, right? And additionally, if you made this bot play earlier and you killed them, you would still go to dragon and take the dragon anyway, right? So no matter
Yeah,
what, your
I would
position is
I would get
locked
the
by
I meant I would get the bot play and then I would get the dragon for free, but I might not be able to get her camps because she could be there, and I don't want to waste my time.
well, if she's on
Uh,
if she's on your bot camps, that means she's not doing rift.
right, but well,
So if she's not on rift, then you're getting dragon for free, and then you can recon play for rift. She can't do everything, right? She can't defend her bot side and do the rift at the same time. And plus, you don't know if she cleared her bot side and then targeted the rift. Like I don't know what the Sejuani is doing, right? Like she has entire bot setup and she's just deciding to pull the rift, right? So she could have
well,
cleared a sequence earlier
so if you didn't have vision on Sejuani here, what would you do right here?
when the dragon is gone.
Yeah, like right on this
I would still
timestamp.
go invade. Their bot lane's dead. If there's no dragon to play for, there's no crab to play for. I'm still going to collect information on his Krugs, on his Raptors. I'm saying that this war does not change anything. Whether or not I know
Oh, I
Sejuani is
see.
here, it doesn't change it
Right,
because
right.
you already won here. You like
Yeah,
lose time by making this play. The time is so important for this bot play that it's like if you win here, you don't need that word.
right, right. If I that time I wasted, that might have been crucial time that might make me not able to get this bot play. And if I can't get this
Exactly.
bot play, I can't get
Then you
anything
can't get
else.
anything anyway. You're not gonna get the dragon. You're not gonna
Yeah,
get the herald. You're not gonna get the crab. You're not gonna get the
right.
invade.
So it's
Exactly.
only just a risk for me than to waste that time on the word
Right.
that might not even provide anything because
Right.
she as you said she might not even start Herald.
Right. So like,
Oh,
because
okay.
additionally here you have your ult. Let's say you were bolting it to bot right away instead of doing this. You could make a play all the way around here first, like and like skip these camps as well, and like three v
True.
three. Like there's just like so many more options you have by not spending so much time up here. Cool. And the main thing again is like if you can contest it, like
Then it would be good, right?
now
To have
like
the
your laners
vision.
have great conditions and they want to like they're okay to fight. Then warding is makes a lot more sense.
Right. Then we can turn on them.
You can turn on them. You can like make better decisions. Like you just have more options, but you actually limit your options by wording like that. And it's actually like a really difficult thing to see. But I'm glad we got to a point
Yeah.
where I could try and explain it
I
and you can
definitely
understand
understand
it.
now.
Cool,
I definitely get it now.
cool. But this was really well played. I really like your E here. Your ult was nice.
Yeah,
Um,
this is so clean.
yeah, this is really nice. And then you invade here. Just order is a little bit off, but you kill this guy too. GG, you're so fed. Um, you're running to the fight here. You're stacking your Qs, beautiful. Okay, it's a little nitpicky, but your W here doesn't. I would save it for the damage reduction, right? It still does damage reduction, I believe. So, like, if these guys were to like have abilities and jump you here, you have no W, you have no E, you have no alt, you're pretty fucked. Right?
True.
You're in the midst of both of them. You'd at least die. But if you have your W, it like makes it so you have some tools to survive. It's just a
Yeah.
small thing. I've seen you use your Ws really early on. Same thing with your E, right? These abilities are so important to just be a little more um I don't know, greedy with. Okay, almost. You almost did the biggest rule of jungle. You almost went 1 for 1 for zero reason, right? Look at how bad it would have been if you went 1 for 1 here. You have your
Yep.
entire, all of your camp stuff. So here, what I would do, recall is fine, but pretty much you're recalling for more creds, right? That's the only
Yeah.
thing you could buy. If you full clear your camps, you're gonna heal the full, right? If you kill these 3 camps, you're full HP.
True.
So if you had 1k, 2k gold, recalling here makes sense because your conditions are fucked, but you're playing a champ that can heal and like stay for tempo. What's gonna happen is now you need to recall and you need to make a decision: run to topside or run to dragon.
Yeah. And me spending the 500 gold doesn't really make a big deal.
Doesn't change
But
anything
getting
exactly.
yeah, but getting all my camps off, that's amazing before
Yes,
dragon.
yes, exactly. So now you're a little bit late to the dragon spawn. They could be
Yep.
doing it right now, you know. They're not. You got wards. This is good. And then you see Kennen soloing this, so you're just like, yeah, this guy's dead. This is good for you to see. Get the crab too. Beautiful. Bye bye. Use your ult for the kill. This is fine. Nice. Okay, really beautiful. You recall too at a good time. What I would do here is run back and then recall. Just because this is safer than this,
True.
um,
Yeah.
because if she spots you here and the cannon's coming here too, it's just dangerous. You want to recall in bushes if you can, or like in places where they will not check. This is a place
Yeah.
that like is
Yeah.
super easy to check. It's just a little
Right.
little bits a little small thing you could work on. Um,
I was just a second away from Sejuani spotting me there too, and then
yeah,
that would have
exactly.
wasted
And if
time.
she's like, it's not that spotting you like really changes anything in that specific situation. Um, it's just a good habit to have. So again, here
Yeah.
pulling the objective out, right? So you want this smite fight, good for you. But pulling the objective out changes this by a lot. Okay, you're all set up. Don't chase. Good. Go to camps. Good. Silas has TP. Okay. Okay, so everything I've seen so far is like beautiful, right? Like look at the CS you have. Look at this. Like it's not like you made any really bad decisions. So everything looks good. It's just every time you're pulling a dragon, you're not pulling the objective out, and you must do that, especially when the enemy has a dash, like Kha'Zix, like Sejuani, like Raves, like Kindred, any champ that has a dash.
Yep. Yeah, like me, like 2 weeks ago, I think I probably would have tried to start that Herald top set at 8 minutes,
Oh yeah,
even though my all my lane conditions were bad. And then remember, I would just waste so much time
right,
sitting around there, just
right.
sitting in river.
Right. This
But
is
now
looking
my
a
farm is so much
lot
better.
better. Your farm is so much better. You have your pet complete. You're about to be at your second item, while Sejuani's barely finished your first. Right. Your tempo's looking really good the entire game. Right here is where I would call off walking to Crux. So you might think that there's no play bot, but you've generated so much of a lead for yourself that you can make a play. So what I mean by don't force anything is when you're not winning and you're like even, it's better to wait for opportunity. But when you're hard smurfing, you could look for more opportunity and kind of force things and make things happen easier for you. So in this case, it's just a bot wave. But if they're trying to fight for this bot wave, I mean they're not in the moment. But like right here, you see that the wave is going to be cleared. But depending on how your teammates want to play, like look, they still want to fight low key. I would come hover them, especially since this ward is pinked, and I would get kills bot easily, right? You're gonna one shot these guys with these items.
Yep.
And even if there isn't a kill bot, you're making it so your bot lane's gonna poke them out, and your bot lane's gonna like win. Like you're pretty much playing to impact lanes more now, and that's
Yeah,
like
like
what I would focus on
yeah.
once you've
I
secured a lead like this.
so like once I farm my early game and I've got my lead and now I'm like like happily in the mid game and I'm strong, I should be now like using my lead basically instead of just continuing to farm the whole
Yes,
game.
yes, that's a very common problem. You've passed step one, which is like play a good early game, get some objectives, and have good conditions. The next steps are impact your laners and play fights well. Right, so that's the next two things I'm going to be like thinking of, and obviously objective control. But yes, you need to impact your ball lane here, especially since they're not doing too bad. It's not like they're losing; they're not hard winning, but you could make them hard winning just by putting your presence there. Like
Yep.
the moment, like you obviously don't want to show, but the moment they do see you, they're either dead or they're gonna lose flash or they're just like fucked out of the lane. They're gonna have to be like run away. So here, Sejuani ganking bot. I'm not sure if your teammates use sums or anything. I think yeah, Zerath had the flash there. You see it? He had the
Yep.
flash there.
Saw it.
That's
Yeah.
just
I could have been
so
there.
sad. It's just like you
Yeah.
could have been here and you would have
Yep.
killed him. And Herald is coming up, so that's where the argument of like, okay, if you really wanted this Herald, yes, you could do this Herald. The problem is second Herald doesn't have as much value. Although there are objective bounties, that is a lot of value. What's gonna happen is Herald plus objective bounty is 800 gold, right? Actually, because they have objective bounties, Herald is better, but tier 2 Herald does not secure like enough. If you could break this bot cert here, free bot lane from their hell, like of a lane state, and kill Kog'Maw and possibly Melio as well, it's so much more valuable than a second Herald. But I think you are
Yeah.
aware that this Herald is coming up, so I don't mind you just doing this. I'm just letting you know, being more impactful on lanes at this point will be um, better since you've gotten such a big lead. Oh, you don't even do the rift. Oh, motherfucker.
Honestly, I'm not sure if I noticed the rift.
You know,
I think
even yeah,
because
so
I immediately clicked on Krugs
yeah,
after
that's
Grump.
true. That's true.
So
Your inputs are going to Krugs, not to rift. So
yeah, you
that's
gave
what
me
makes
too
this
much
even
credit
worse.
there.
Cool. So we recall here. We have Shojin, and there's actually no, we don't recall. So we see the fight happening, and we're like, okay, I could probably make it to there. Yeah. So the only time I'm making it here because if they run like this and you run like this, you're not gonna make it. The only reason why I'm running here is because this guy has CC, so it's gonna make
Yep.
it so they're locked into place right here. So
Yep.
I like you. I feel okay with you giving. Also, you have the move speed, uh, pet. So you're gonna you're gonna be really fast here. This is good. Not using your ult, beautiful. Okay, getting the crab, then we can recall eventually. This is good. You want to spend your gold. Okay, and then here you have again. So your objective setup here is what we're gonna talk about. What I'm looking at whenever I'm thinking about objectives is every time you're going for vision, it should be on a wave. Okay, so we'll go back to the previous wave. Right, the wave right here is in the middle, and you're doing Gromp. So you're not going to be able to set up top, right? When the timer you would set up top is when your teammates clear this wave, you ping with Xerath and you tell them to go get vision, and you create this sort of line right here or this line right here. Either line works. It's just based off terrain, right? So this Gromp doesn't matter. You're not going to get level 16, you're not going to get level 15, you're not going to get gold. It's not for an item, right? If you're playing for Baron, your cursor's on Baron, then this wave is the crucial wave, okay? And the next wave that you're in proximity to, sort of, is the wave you pull Baron on.
Yeah.
Cool. So pretty much you're so fed, your second item, you wanna like accelerate the game. Baron is normally not the best avenue to do this. Stacking dragons and just keeping Baron control is good. So what I would do, since dragon is just like so close to spawning and your camps are down towards bot side, I would just play for the dragon. I wouldn't even stress about Baron. And after dragon's off the map, there's no like they can't like ace us on Baron and then get dragon after and make it even harder. Then I would do Baron after the dragon's off the map. So I personally do not like anything happening here. And again, this wave, if you were just sitting right here this whole time, right? The moment like they walk up this far, like you would have already been channeling in. You could have even took the Sedrar with your R. Like you could be in a much better position to like make this fight look good. Okay, and Emilio got your ass there, honestly, and ulted. So good for her. I don't mind the look. You're so strong. Like it's a good angle. Go for it. But again, by you being topside, by you not harboring the mid wave, now the setup to this dragon is like much worse. So I'm actually faulting you here for not identifying which wave you want to play on. Right? If you need this setup because you think they can fight you, you need to go on this wave with your team and walk with Xerath. You could also like control the entire bot side here and like push the guy all the way out. The fact that Garen is able to like be this far up is like disturbingly illegal,
Yeah.
right?
Criminal.
It's criminal, yeah. And then at this point, you need to know which wave you need to be on. It's this wave. Always, 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 when you're setting up objectives, be watching the waves that are coming up before the objective. So a minute before every objective, you're pinging it. That's 2 waves, possibly 3, depending on when the wave is spawning, that you need to be aware of. And this wave especially, since both the objectives are about to spawn, or the Baron's about to, like, you want to take it, and the Dragon's about to spawn, you need to contest this mid wave. Cool, so that puts you in a really shit
After
situation. Right?
after I did Gromp and I walked to mid,
Uh-huh.
was that too late? I think it looks
So
like right as I'm. Well, I didn't pan to the mid, so like, not too sure. But it looks like I'm like too late, as you said, by doing Gromp, right?
yes, you would be too late to this wave by doing Gromp. Yes. So
Because it
this,
looked like I think it looked like I still had time to go set up vision even though I did Gromp.
yeah. So
Because I
because you
think
clear so fast, your items are so big, and like no one's contesting mid wave, you can do this, right? But if they're
so.
aware of this mid wave and you're not there, they're going to get prio into you, right?
True.
Additionally, this takes normally when you're not this fed. This takes a lot longer to clear. You probably even need to use smite sometimes. So most of the time, if you're really focusing on how do you get these objectives, you want to just fuck your camp sometimes, especially when the mid game happens, and set up a line of vision, set up a deep line of vision, where however you can. Sorry again. Um, so at this point though, you still do have time, right? You clear so fast, mid has full prio. You just chose the wrong objective. This one or this one. Just always make it a rule: dragon over the baron, as long as they can't do the baron. After you get the dragon, figure out how to do the baron. Yeah, 5 minutes to figure it out. If you can't figure it out, go back to dragon. Right?
So here you say Drake would be better because we have crab vision, so we know if they decide to go to Baron,
Yeah, also this
so
Gangplank
we
can
can
like
just
drop
turn.
one ward here too, right?
Oh,
And
true.
if
Yeah.
anything, like I think there's a ward in Pixel too. You have a pink ward right there, right? So you're gonna see them go. Also, just by like the position they're in, if you're catching the midway from this position and they're catching the mid from this position, you know that they're gonna try doing the Baron, right? If they're all the way back here, going all the way around like this to Baron is just too slow. Going all the way like this to Baron is just too slow. So I'm not too afraid of them doing Baron here as well. You have GP ult. You just have a lot of resources to make it so Like you're so fast too. Like they're not gonna do this Baron. But I would never like want to fully establish vision in the top side. It's just not worth it. I want to establish vision in the bot side, and this Garen should just die. The guy should be already dead.
Oh, so you're prioritizing Dragon more than Baron is because you want to like set up vision on both sides because as you said, GP can drop a vision and we already have Scuttle Crab, but we don't have too much vision bot side. So
Yeah,
you want to like
and the
prevent them from
goal,
doing everything.
yeah, the goal is Baron. Oh, sorry, the goal is Dragon, not Baron. The goal is to defend the Baron, not do the Baron. Especially when Dragon is up, and especially since it's going to be soul point for you guys.
Why not do the Baron though?
Because let's say you do the Baron and they get the Dragon. Sure, you're up 1500 gold now a lot. They get objective bounty from Dragon, and they have scaling. They have time to scale. The Soul gives you a bigger point, a bigger power point than the Baron does. Let's say you don't end the game in 5 minutes on the Baron, and you throw one fight, just one fight. Your shutdown gets thrown to them. Now the score is even. Now the gold is even, and they have one dragon and you have two. They're gonna fight the next dragon because the gold is even. They could possibly win that fight as well. And now you just went from being up two dragons to even dragons and down gold. Right? You could win the fights, possibly, but it just whenever you siege with Baron, let's say you're trying to break this turret, let's say you're trying to break this turret, let's say you're trying to break this turret, it just gives them opportunity to like win and beat you in the fight. If you have soul point, then you get the Baron, then you throw a fight, you still have the chance of like smite fighting, winning the fight on dragon and winning like that way. It gives you a lot of security because of how powerful almost all the souls are in the game.
But if we were to prioritize Baron here, we get Baron and they get Drake, we would be much stronger. Well, in right now we would be much stronger than if we got the dragon because we would only have three Drakes then. But the
Yeah.
power of dragon is soul, not the individual Drakes.
Well, the individual
So we
drakes do
could.
give you like 1.5k worth of stats, and as the game gets on, it gives you even more.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely still valuable, but Baron in the short term is more valuable than the single Drake, right? But if we were to play for the soul, but as you say, if we play for Baron and then we lose one team fight, then we'd be down to two dragons then.
Right.
But if we play for soul, then and we also lose, and then we now there's 5 more minutes until dragon, we could also lose another team fight there too. But because we would be much weaker since we didn't get the Baron, because Baron is uh in the short term stronger than Dragon. So wouldn't it be
But
more
but
likely we
but
lose the
is the
fight?
question. Like what are you actually getting from Baron in the moment?
I feel like Baron makes like for me. I feel like I can't even when I'm this fed like this. I feel like it's so hard for me to siege towers without Baron, even when I get really fed.
Right, so that comes from a problem of looking at how you're playing the macro, look like using pings to like decide to help your teammates to guide them, but also like it should not feel hard to siege any of these tier two turrets, especially these two because they're worth gold, when you're this fed. Okay, and I'll explain in a second. But also, what happens is this Baron is only worth 1.5k gold, 300 to each of you, and it gives you stats. It's actually not that good to get Baron unless you're going to get more turrets. Let's say you break this turret and this turret. So that's 1.1k gold plus 500, so 1.6, 3,000 gold. Pretty much goes into your pockets if you properly siege everything and do that. But they just got Dragon. They're probably breaking this turret too. They're probably getting like establishing a squadron of control right into your jungle. Pretty much, they're also going up a decent amount of gold too. They're also getting stats. They're also scaling too. What I would do is I would just get the dragon first, then fight them on the baron afterwards, right? And bring them into us with our control. The biggest thing is you have no control on either side right now. This ward is not control. This ward is not control. You want a ward here. You want to maintain this ward here, and you want to be sitting in the river here. If you are trying to do baron, you want a ward here, pink ward there, pink ward, ward here, and ward here. You have no side of control on either side. And the point of pressuring Soul is they will walk into you, allowing you to have an easier fight when the fight breaks out. So, in most
Oh
cases,
well,
Baron. Sorry,
the
go ahead.
other thing I was thinking, the other point that I was thinking was if I were to fully commit to setting up vision on Drake, and then I see that we start Drake, but then we see them going to Baron, we can easily just one shot the Drake and go contest the Baron, or we can just drop the Drake and go Baron. But if we're starting Baron, we can't as easily just one shot the Baron and go contest the Drake. They'll guarantee get the Drake.
Right.
But if we start the Dragon, we can guarantee fight them on Baron before they steal it, because
Exactly.
we can
Yeah.
have vision.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you prioritize the dragon then.
Yeah, so like this dragon is just generally safer. It's just like a safer thing to do. If you are aware that your team gets outscaled, your team does like I think your team will just like as you play the game in the 5 more minutes, like you're not getting outscaled. You play 15 more minutes of this game, your gangplank is gonna be god, your Ezreal is gonna be god, and so are you. Like you're not getting outscaled this game. If you are going to get outscaled, you need to end the game within 30 minutes. You have fucking Pantheon. You have what's another like fucked up champ? I don't
Talon.
know. There's not many nowadays. I feel like sailing is kind of fake. But if you have champs that just you Pantheon, Lee Sin, like Nautilus, like a bunch of these other bad champions, like yes, you need to end the game now. I need to do your best to end the game now. But most of the time in solo queue, it's just hard to siege in general, hard to get turrets in general, and using one Baron to end the game is going to be hard.
True.
So losing this dragon here in this situation is really bad. Now, how would I actually siege a turret? You need to like walk through the mid wave. You don't care about any of your camps. You need to walk through a mid wave and then walk into a quadrant. So like, let's look at back here, right? So here you kill this guy and you get these camp right here, and your gangplank's cracking top a little bit. Okay, so here, so you would have broken this bot turret if you impacted bot lane, right? That's one turret you could have gotten. I'm not sure if it was up. Actually, was it up? I think it is. That looks up, yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so you would have broken that bot turret there. And then how do you play for this next turret? So let's say like, there's dragons and barons to play for first, but let's say there was no baron or dragon. What I would do is this gangplank, like we have better like um. Actually, no, it's better you can play the Silas, but gangplank can break turrets easier, so that's why I like I, either way, either one works here. The reason why I like Gangplank is because of the position he's in. He's faster onto the wave. You could just drop your bot camps and just run into his top side and just be in proximity of him if you're giving this dragon. Like you will dive this guy under his tier 2 turrets if he's there by himself. Like he's just going to die. Like in most cases, like you have good items, you're fed, but like even if you're not fed, like 2v1, unless they're playing Fiora, Jax, really really hard champs to dive, like you'll still be able to dive them. Pretty much you can siege, it's just you're not interacting with your lanes enough. Even in this case right here, they're on the Baron right, or they're on the Dragon right now. I would bolt it to top lane. I would clear this mid wave of your teammate and then go top lane and break this top tier 2 turret. Play on this wave right here. Even if you don't have ult, Gangplank strong enough, you're strong enough, you E behind him, even if you don't kill him, you get him so low that he'll run away and you'll break the turret.
Yeah, I'm just letting him fend for himself right here by just
Yeah,
fully prioritizing my camps.
yeah,
And now
like
he can't do anything either. He's
yeah,
just walking away.
Gangplank has to leave away. He should get this wave all the way up here if they're getting the dragon. It's not that's like illegal. He should get this next wave this far up. Cool. So your guy died, and this. So you have a pink here, so this is pretty fine. Um, but so you're using pings well. So the Zet's been getting chased, so this is fine. Gangplank has really good damage. This guy comes to int. Um, yeah, using your ult to stop him is good, securing the play. Um, but you see like here, your Xerath got caught twice. It's not your fault, but like you've had Baron for half of its time and you haven't broken a single turret. Obviously, you like just lost like 2 fights almost because your Xerath died twice now. But like, it's just if you had this dragon instead, it would just look so much easier. It's so much harder to kill Baron than it is dragon. Um, so here you go. That's it. This is not breaking a turret. You could have done this 5 minutes ago, easily,
Yeah, right.
without Baron. You don't need Baron to break this turret at all. Okay, you kill him. We make it work. Um, Recall here for stats. That's fine. Your entire team is sieging. Um, so like I kind of feel like you should stay for this way. Actually, Ezra's recalling. Never mind. You should ping them like a shit ton here. Um, to get the fuck out. Like just knock them away.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like for the most part, everything is pretty chill to me. So here you're in this position again where like you're trying to like siege, but your team is fighting. You're also coming up and dragons coming up. So like I don't really know what's going on here. You one shot this guy, cool. But like if you wipe these guys bot lane, like you're playing with your team, you're helping your team, and then like you can break the spots here too now, and you can like start sieging the inhib turrets with your team.
I I was thinking that fight, that dragon's probably lost because Silas died right before dragon.
Does he have TP? Right, and
No.
even if he's dead, there's gates in this game, and additionally, like normally, unless like let's see when he dies. 47 seconds. You hold tab. This is perfect. Um,
Like
47
I
seconds.
if
It will
yeah.
be up, right? You can stall them. It's not like they can do the dragon in 58 seconds and one shot it. If they try to one shot the dragon, you'll kill them. You'll wipe them. With how fed you are, you'll wipe them. They can't just use all their abilities on the dragon. You'll kill them. So the dragon's gonna take extra slow. And even if Silas comes 5-10 seconds late, they're being like pincered into the pit, right? And that's how they have to hit it. They can't not be in the pit if they're not hit. If, like they can't hit it, and you know what I mean. Like they have to be in the pit to hit it. So if they are hitting it, their position is bad. If they're not hitting it, then Silas will come in time. If they are hitting it and you're gonna fight them, their position is bad, and Silas will eventually come. So you're going to just win the fight and then get turrets after that. No matter what, I'm thinking about this dragon,
Oh
and
well,
and Silas will
no,
have GP.
I think I was actually I think I was thinking about the dragon, but I was thinking since it's still a minute away, I thought I could push top end before that and then reset. Because like I was thinking right as Silas died, I was thinking I definitely don't need to immediately. I shouldn't immediately run to help them because I'll be too slow and I'll be in a bad position.
Well, personally, I feel like if you're here and they're walking in like this into like Gangplank Ezreal and Xerath while they're getting poked in, and you're there with your ult coming up soon, you're just gonna wipe them. Like I feel like you're too afraid to fight them when you're this fed. Like you've avoided fighting bot earlier, you've avoided diving top earlier, you are now avoiding this entire team fight. It's not the worst thing to do. It's just you're going to win this fight if you have half fingers. You're so fed here. I would not want to avoid this fight. If you're really close to a mythic or a third item, or you're just too weak, then yeah, don't fight it. You're like literally 3 or 4 levels ahead of every single person in this game right now. Like you're 4 levels on your own Ezreal. You're fucking what is that, six levels on your Xerath. You're seriously super strong. So I
I,
would go take this fight and I would just wipe them here.
I was just thinking because I'm playing full damage build right, and they have a bunch of CC and they have the Melio Q. So if they like if I walk through mid right here and I get spotted on a ward, or if they just see me and then they turn on me, I could just get CC'd on one shot.
Well, okay,
And
so even
Karma, of
so
course,
right
because
here, the first thing I'm saying you is you're clicking top. Why? Your entire team is bot side. Click bot side. Right? If you're scared about getting seen, walk like this. Additionally, you're not going in first. They're coming into you, and you're sitting in the spush. You're sitting in the spush, and when they come into you, you jump them, and they're dead. Right? So
no,
everything,
I think here I was clicking portal to try to go for a flank here, like flank through their blue buff to mid.
it's too slow. And why? You don't need a flank with how fed you are and with this composition. Like this guy wants to poke them. This guy wants to poke them. This guy wants to poke them as well. You can go in with Silas, but pretty much you're just keeping your ground and then going in eventually. You win the fight if you just show yourself here. If you just walk down and speed run into bot here, they're not going to fight you, right? If you don't show yourself and they do commit to fighting, you're going to come from behind and just wipe them. You're so fast with phase rush, E, ghost, goes not up with your ult and everything. They're going to get wiped here. So you don't need to overcomplicate the fight here. I wouldn't. Also, you're way too far. How are you ever flanking this? Like the fight's already
Well,
begun.
I was thinking I could do blue buff in the meantime while my ult CD's down, because I can't really do anything with that ult, right?
Yeah, but look at your team. You don't need your ult at this point in the game when you're this fed, especially when your teammates are sitting as five together, and I mean Cannon's also dead, right? The reason why you play off your ults in the early game is because that's when ults like really really matter. Like it can really change a fight whether or not you have ult or not, because there's no items yet. Very low level people. You're so fed. You don't need your ult to just wipe their entire team right here. Pretty much.
Well,
Yeah. Whatever.
if I were I'm just imagine like because I feel like I also me like 2 weeks old me ago would have probably gone for this, but I feel like I've thrown so many games by trying to take these fights, and I feel like because in this game I have no front line other than Silas, right? And Silas, if Silas goes in, he can also just get exploded. And if I then they also have so much CC and Kog'Maw does so much damage, and I'm also full glass cannon that I could easily throw my 1K shotgun to Kog'Maw here if I take this.
Two things. One, you're not full glass cannon, right? Because you have so much stats here. You have more stats than like a lot of people, right, in this game. You're level 17 as well, which gives you a shit ton of HP. You have 2.6k. Lastly, yes, you're right. These fights would probably like end up in you losing from what I've seen in the past. The difference now is you're understanding fights a little bit better. You are valuing not going in one for one, not going in by yourself. So the fight itself will look a lot better. I'm
Oh yeah,
telling you, you
like how I used to split up the fight
yes,
and
it's
make it
just
like
terrible.
messy.
If you're,
Yeah,
it
right,
seems like you're staying with your team. You're going to win these fights if you play with your team. And what's going to happen is if you're aware, okay, they're going to go in. They're playing Sejuani, they're playing Garen, they're playing Ken. They're going to go in. Let them go in. Let them kill your whole team, and you will wipe them afterwards. They have no
right,
abilities to
right,
CC you. They have no ults. They have nothing to kill you. You will literally 1v5 them with how fed you are, and in the time they're using all their ults and killing your team, your ult will come up. So you're not wrong to be like somewhat afraid from your past self of like taking fights like these, but just keep it a rule of thumb. You have numbers, number one. Number two, you want to play with your team. This is avoiding your team right now by going top. Do not avoid your team. This is a team game. You need to be with your team. You need to babysit them. You need to help them. Okay, you showing your presence here and make it so they won't die. Additionally, if they go in too hard, the enemy team, because they're inting, you will kill them all.
true.
And as long as you're playing the fights better, so the two things we talked about was, you know, you need to now use your lead, use your advantage to accelerate the game, to keep pace in the game. But also you need to play the fights well. If you do both of these things, like you've like for the last 10 minutes, you've accelerated the game and a good pace. You miss out on one dragon, that's fine. You're way above the curve. You're 3 items, 3.5 items. You have really good CS. You have really good level. Level 17 at this minute is insane, right? Now
True.
you just need to play the fight well, and you win the game here.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I'm thinking too much on past self where I misplayed the team fight, so I just assumed the team
Yeah,
fight's bad itself when it's not.
yeah. The team fight itself wouldn't be bad. What's actually worse is if you keep having this attitude with it and you don't get to practice team fighting. You will probably climb playing
True.
this way. It's not bad, but when you get to an elo where like this cannon's not gonna kill himself realistically, and you're not gonna be this fed in most games.
Yep.
You get to
Yep.
that elo, you're gonna need to team fight. If you don't have that skill set to team fight, well, you're gonna struggle.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because this whole game I've been so fed, but I've just never helped my team anywhere. I've
Right,
just let my Ezreal die 2v2 bot from the Sedge gank. I never dove top or bot to get towers. I just let my GP push on his own. And then here, again, I'm just avoiding my team.
right. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna ask you, the most important things you say, and I have mine. But let's recap, this entire session, and yeah,
So you're actually like, well, like, what was like you're asking like, what's the main takeaway?
yeah. Main takeaways for you, pretty much. That's the best way to put it. Main takeaways for you.
Did you say you're gonna say first or me
Oh no,
first?
sorry. I'm asking you. I'm running it. I'm like I have my notes written
Oh,
down.
yeah,
I
sorry, I
want
got
you
confused.
to,
Yeah,
yeah. No worries, no worries.
right, right. Okay. Let me also type it then, just to make my thoughts clearer.
Yeah, it's good. Cool. So if you have, I mean, it seems like you're running a lot, but um, no, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just keep running. Keep doing your thing.
Yep. I'm just kind of blanking a little bit because we've gone over so much stuff
Right.
that I'm sort of
So
forgetting some of it.
even if you can get the most important things, like don't worry. Let's just try and get this through, and then I can maybe remind you for
Yep.
the things that you maybe missed. So just go for it. Like what do you have down right now? Cool. So pay more attention to laner's conditions. First, carry mid gang size no mana. Yep. So you're wasted a lot of time there. Prioritize safe dragons over flipping barons more. Yep, that's perfect. Farm early and use lead to pressure towers, dragons, vision control. With team after shoving waves. Pull dragon, perfect. So the last thing I'd say that you're kind of missing is when you are like trying to pressure with your team, you want to make sure that it's when you like it's when you have good conditions for yourself as well. So I don't want you to pressure when you don't have ult. I don't want you to pressure when you don't have like really good conditions. Let's say you're in a position like we just looked at where you have like 4 items, obviously, or 3 items. Obviously, you can still pressure without ult. But if you're in the early game, you only have like 1.5 items. Don't fight without ult. Okay,
Yep.
and use your teammates waves to accelerate the game. That would be the best thing. Pull the dragons, perfect. And especially when you don't have smites, you want to pull the dragons out. Last thing that I had was the thought process of using your wards actively is really really good, and I'm really glad to see you think about it this way. But realistically, you want to really know if it's gonna waste a lot of time for your play. Um, Normally, it's not worth it unless you're going to contest it afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Like the herald thing
Yep.
we looked at. So cool. If you have any other questions, any other thoughts?
None that come to mind.
Awesome.